Hello and welcome to the International Student Podcast by Prodigy Finance.
I just wanted to, get a master's degree. I wanted to upgrade my skills a little bit, completely relocate my life. There comes a time where imposter syndrome hits you and you're just like, you know what? I need to try harder. And from a 6 month of getting nothing period to getting to internships in 1 week, like it just gave me confirmation that I am capable of doing this. Be intentional, just say yes, you will learn so much from them. There's already so much you have to handle in the first month. So not having to worry about your fee is like the best blessing there is.
Hello and welcome to the International Student Podcast by Prodigy Finance. I'm your host, Cyndi, and today we have someone really special join us. We have Mihika join us from Newcastle University. She's just graduated from her master's at Newcastle University, and she's here today to share her study abroad journey with us. Welcome to the show, Mihika.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is really exciting because typically we speak to students who have graduated a really long time ago, who have studied many years ago. But with this episode, it's really exciting to have someone who's just finished their studies. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mihika.
Sure. So, just as you mentioned, I've just finished my master's. So, I studied an international marketing master's at Newcastle University, and in a month I'll be graduating. So, it's all really, really exciting. Beyond that, I am from India. I'm from New Delhi, India. So, I've already got a few years of work experience back home. I was in the branding and communication side of things. I worked in an agency. I've worked on brand side of things, and I just wanted to, get a master's degree. I wanted to upgrade my skills a little bit because I know the kind of roles that I'm looking out for require a little more from me. And I think the best way for me to sort of push myself and upgrade was to completely relocate my life and just make sure that it's I'm doing everything on my own. And so I think just coming to the UK, doing a master's degree fresh is just it's been a really exciting thing for me.
Do you feel now, after your classes have ended and you're just about to graduate, that you have achieved that you've gained those skills and you've gained that knowledge and you've really challenged yourself while studying?
Honestly, I think it's a little more than that. I think the way that I viewed it before was just, I'll have a master's degree, I'll meet those set criteria of skills that I really need, and then it'll be like an easy step way into the future. But now I see it as more, it's like a stepping point. I'm learning each skill as I go, and within each role or within each specific task that I do, I'm learning more. So it's not like I finished my master's. Yeah, now I'm qualified enough to be in a specific role. There's still more learning. So I think definitely it has helped me upgrade the way that I wanted, but I'm also aware that it's not, just done and dusted. There's more to keep learning for sure.
Yes, you never stop learning. You could talk to us about your experience at Newcastle University since it's still fresh in your mind. You're still in the UK at the moment as we speak. What has been the highlight of your study abroad journey so far?
Wow, that's like a very loaded question. I think the highlight of my study abroad journey would probably just be the fact that, I was able to, I think, land one of my first internships back in July. And there was like a point in, the entire study journey where it was just, I was just focused on academics and I was not really applying for internships or not getting internships because the whole process is uh, yeah, but pretty challenging. So there was like a point where everyone around me was just getting internships, getting part-time jobs, getting, opportunities that I really wanted. And I viewed myself as good enough to, have those opportunities. But there comes a time where imposter syndrome hits you and you're just like, you know what? I need to try harder. And it was just a matter of luck, in all honesty. And I think a lot of students that I've spoken to here would agree with me. There's like a few months where you're just like, you know what? I'm not getting anything. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should go back. And then suddenly something will come upon you. And I got two internships within 1 week, which was from a 6 month of getting nothing period to getting to internships in 1 week and having to choose one. because I can't do both. Like it just gave me confirmation that I am capable of doing this and I really wanted to do it. So it was just the reassurance that, you know, the UK market may be difficult, but I am strong too.
Amazing. And tell us about the internship, Amika. I think this is very interesting for international students to know the importance of an internship while studying abroad. Talk to us about the one that you landed and maybe just sort of why it was really important for you to land an internship.
Absolutely. So I think for me, what I had noticed was just our course curriculum was, of course, great within itself. But for a lot of students, because our ultimate goals are sort of to land jobs in the UK, we sort of wanted to make sure that we have, a head start. We get internships so that the skills that we already have are transferable within like within the job that we apply to, and that happens through an internship. So it was just a way for us to prove that while we're good in maybe the Indian market or wherever we come from, we're just as good in the UK market as well. So I think internships for recruiters and for students particularly sort of prove that. So I think that was one of the major reasons why I wanted to get an internship. And I wanted to work, to be very honest. I love studying. I loved studying marketing as a theory. But as someone who's been in projects long enough, I need something to, pitch to a company. So I was just like, you know what, I want to keep applying. So yeah, just the internship that I got, I'm very, very grateful to the Newcastle University Business School because we have a careers website and we have a careers team that sort of facilitates internships to you. And I had applied to the Grand Hotel, which is a hotel here in Bosworth in Newcastle, and it's a legacy hotel. It was a very big deal for me, and so they needed someone to manage their social media and their overall marketing, and it essentially needed an upgrade because they ran as a legacy hotel, but they haven't shown that online yet. So I was just sort of taking the lead on working on that.
Wow, that's incredible. And does this then allow you to stay in the UK and work? Does having the internship continue or does it come to an end once you've graduated? How does that work?
So there are different rules for, your visa restrictions have sort of come into play here. So I'm currently on a student visa, and most of the students who would apply would also be here on a student visa, which allows us 20 hours of work time during our term time, which is when our course is going on. And once our course is over, it's approximately 40 hours, depending on, what it's like a vacation or a bank holiday or something like that. So it ranges on that sort of restriction. So for me right now, because my graduation is around the corner and I've technically graduated, so I can work up to 40 hours on my visa, currently student visa, and then I would be applying for a post-study visa.
Great. And why did you specifically choose the UK? I mean, this is so interesting because when I chat to other international students, particularly students from India, the US has always seemed to be a go-to destination for an international student. I'm seeing more international students exploring the UK as a place of great opportunity. What was the reason why you chose the UK?
Honestly, for me, UK was sort of a no-brainer. For me, this is honestly such a throwback. Since I was like 13 years old, I loved the UK. I kept seeing London and, other UK cities just pop up on my feed. And it always looks like something I wanted to like live, but I only thought I would probably visit these areas sometime. But I mean, circumstances sort of gave me the push to, apply abroad. And I mean, UK was like a no-brainer. My sister here lives in London, so for me, it's like, you know what, this is like a reunion for us, and this is how I want it. I honestly never really thought of US and Canada because I think my parents were a little iffy about it because they didn't want me to go too far away because UK is a little closer to India. So yeah, I mean, and UK in itself has great opportunities in marketing for sure. And yeah, I mean, just cities like Manchester, Leeds, London, they have some of the biggest agencies, they have some of the biggest brands working here. So depending on where you want to go in your career, I think for students, it's really important to be intentional about why they're choosing a particular country and what do they think it really offers them.
I guess it also helps that your sister lives there.
Absolutely.
Just having, yeah, having, family, having your community, that must really, really be helpful for you.
Yeah, it's a huge support system, honestly, because for me it was always a little bit of, anxiety just before I came here. How am I going to manage this? How does this work? Because it's a completely different system than India. But I think just having her in my corner and having all of my friends and all my peers in my corner has really helped me stabilize how I approach situations here. Because I think for students mostly, and I think even parents now, the biggest worry is sort of, how's my child gonna, manage abroad? How they've never lived on their own. They have, for me specifically in India, it was like everything was sort of on our tips. If I wanted food, I'd order food. But now here, if I had to think about food, I think about, okay, I'm gonna cook. I'm probably not gonna order. And the year really tests you with that. It tests you in everything that you already had, and now you build it yourself in a different sort of way. So I think that it just, like, the overall experience of having people around you just sort of helps navigate everything for sure.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've grown a lot since studying your master's. Mahika, what is your plans for the future? What would you like to do after graduating?
Well, honestly, you know what? I've thought about this for a year and I still couldn't give you a straight answer about it. But honestly, just I think for right now, I'm focusing on getting my post-study visa, and I just want to make sure that I land a role in an organization that sort of supports the career that I want. And honestly, something in marketing is the ideal way for me to go. I'm very, like, I love social media, so something hopefully in that. Just making sure that I have, um, opportunities that speak to me in terms of what the brand does, what they're like online. I'm excited to be a part of any marketing team that'll take me, to be honest.
Amazing. Well, we are wishing you the best of luck for this next chapter in your life and in your career. We'll be cheering for you on the sidelines.
Thank you.
I have
Thank
no
you.
doubt you are going to have an incredible job or land an incredible job and have a great life in the UK. But you could just want to take a quick moment to talk about the financial aspect of studying abroad. How did you hear about Prodigy Finance? And what made you choose to take a loan with Prodigy Finance?
So for me, I think Prodigy Finance came up in the few options that I had, thinking about, the loan processes. And honestly, coming from a middle class background, to me, loans are very daunting, and just anything to do with finance, gets me extremely anxious. So I just wanted to make sure that I get this completely right. There were a lot of banks, and India has a very rigorous process for getting loans. I think we just went through all of the options, and Prodigy seemed like the one that I could, take on in a self-sufficient way, because it is completely on me. And I think even the process was extremely simple, because for any banks that you sort of work with in India, you have to, go to the banks, wait in long lines, get thousands of documents approved. It's not a one-day affair. It's definitely, a few months, and it just takes a lot out of you. So I think I was just, going through the dashboard on Prodigy, and I just input my university, I put in some details, and within that, I got an offer of this is the amount you can get approved for. Yeah, after that, it was just a few things that you just keep uploading step by step, and it just worked out for the best. Even when I came to the UK, my fee was supposed to get disbursed, and I asked Prodigy, I was like, how do I sort of get the money so I can send it to the university? They're like, you don't need to do anything. We're gonna send it to the university ourselves, and that was very reassuring, because there's already so much you have to handle in the first month when you're in a new country. So not having to worry about your fee is like the best blessing there is.
Big relief off your shoulders, I'm sure. And then, just in closing, for our listeners today, what advice do you have for an international student? Let's say they're also from India, and they're looking to study their master's in the UK as well. What advice do you have for that listener today?
Honestly, I think know what you're coming here for. Be intentional about every single decision that you're making because it is your own decision. And just sort of make sure that you have a community, you have a network that sort of supports you, but be intentional and very selective about the people you have in your corner because you are on your own. Nobody's going to come take care of you. You're going to do it yourself. And just, make sure that you're taking every opportunity. You're not just, I mean, honestly, it's taught me to just say, yes, man, I want to learn everything. Keep talking to people. Don't let, I think for Indians specifically, we get really nervous about talking to people who aren't from our country. So I think push yourself to sort of talk to anyone and everyone because you will learn so much from them. Just make sure that you are understanding where they're coming from because you're in a completely different country. This is not your territory. You have to make sure that you understand all people and make sure that you're comfortable around them and they're comfortable around you.
I think it really is some great advice to just really immerse yourself in the experience and network and meet different people. So, thank you so much, Mahika, for joining us, for sharing your experience with us. We wish you all the best with this next chapter in your life as you graduate and immerse yourself in life after graduation. We wish you all the best.